What stuff during uni, especially with freshers, you want to go out, you want to go on a mad one.
Yeah.
Like I'm still getting the whole so I got a kid, be a great dad. I can tell you be a great. I'm like I don't want to chat like this. Like I want to make spelling mistakes when I'm trying to send you a dick pic, kind of thing. Not in that detail. but that just kind of like I was on it,
bro.
I'm a cheers, even though your cup's kind of different.
Yeah,
I wish you told me about this so I could prepare and have a fancier cup. You know, got fancy cups, but it's cool. Now, I need to go straight away to the fact that you know about myself and Jordan doing podcasting for time, even before we did it. And you always been like, nah, not really on it.
Yeah.
But I need to ask you, first of all, why? Why now and what's changed?
So I was always a bit apprehensive about jumping out there, and because of my job and the role that I play and whatever, and the career that I want to take, I didn't really want to be out there in the media like that.
Just in case you say something.
I say something, or
so just in case like you run for presidency, and it's like, oh,
hey,
you say back in 2023, you say back in 2023 you don't like fat girls. Like, oh yeah,
but it's not the case.
It's too late for me and Jordan, to be honest. Bear in mind, we've removed episodes that we've said it to me.
Yeah,
I've said some wild stuff, and
I've seen it.
You haven't seen all of it, bro.
I ain't seen all of it, but
did I tell you about the one that we had to bring down because someone commented and
no.
Okay.
What happened?
We'll talk off camera, innit? I was in a way, and then a certain topic came up that you can probably tell what kind of topic that bothers me.
Yeah.
And it was mentioned, and I gave my honest opinion, and we didn't even edit. We just sent it out, and then someone actually commented.
Is it alongside 12 Years a Slave?
Within a region of sorts, yeah.
Yeah, we're passionate about that type of stuff.
Very much
passionate about the heritage, and you know what? That actually brings me onto something.
What that happen? There you go. All right, talk to me, because we're gonna go back into race now. I'm trying to learn from my mistake to not make it personal.
Okay,
cool.
So I've recently just been on a bit of a journey, to kind of know where I come from, who I am, and at a pinnacle age as well, 30. So on this journey, I started to look at my heritage. I spent a lot of time with my granddad, spent a lot of time with the family. Granddad he kind of blew my mind. Actually sitting down and listening to him and him explaining his path and his journey that he took, going from Jamaica to coming to England, working his year off and just hustling. And something that he kind of shared with me, it was like, from a young age, he turned around and was like, I'm not gonna die a pauper.
From a young age?
From a young age, bro. He said, I'm not gonna die a pauper.
I've only read into that mindset kind of in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
But how young's young?
So primary school times?
Yeah, I was thinking like that in primary school.
Primary school times, bro. Not to say that my family didn't come from a good setup or a good setting, because it was farmers.
All right.
So they had like livestock and
yeah.
trade and whatnot. But he didn't envision that way for himself or what he wanted to bring into the world.
So early as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So going back to my original point, like about heritage, I think it's imperative for us to know where we've come from in order to know where we're going to. And the reason why it's important is because sometimes we can become lost, but we've got like chromosomes from hundreds of thousands of years and connected.
I'm trying not to go off on one. How many conversations we come from such great roots? Like, there was a clothing. I don't want to spin off on it because I really want to go back into this too. There was a clothing line. It's like there's like a Best Indies clothing line, and there was one where it's like just supporting your roots and where you came from. And then one of them, I actually made you know I like to make designs for no reason. I made another design, one of my many, and it was of course I made it as like, of course I'm destined for greatness. I'm a descendant of Mansa Musa. And then there was a woman's one. Of course I'm above beauty. I'm a descendant of Nefertiti. And I went off on one. I went on an hour of making Look, I need to put on Etsy. I went in an hour of making loads of just black, like prowess, like clothing. I was like, and it made me just think like, of course we've gone through struggles. Yeah. Of course we can go through more because what our ancestors have been through isn't for the weak. Only the strong survive. And where the dreams of the strong who didn't even see a life like this. Yeah. Like, even though we know it's not equality, it's nothing compared to what they went through. Yeah. And they still kept going. I can't get over how the windrush of our families, like our parents or our parents' were like, dash in a suitcase, we'll go. And do what? Figure it out. I can't even get that in my head. Like, when we talk about a holiday, I'm like, I need to do this and this and this and this and this needs to get organized. I need to have this on my sleep. And I'm not going if the bag isn't the same color as my rucksack and things like that. But they're like, all right, cool. Run it. Well, sort it out when we get there. How many people with us? Family, youth, different ages. Oh, nah, it's usually like, on a long trip, like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not like babysitter. Yeah. Or my phone's not charged. Yeah. And then I hear myself talk about it, about what I've spoken about. I'm like, yo, stop being a bitch. It's like, you don't understand, your people have done so much with so much more little, like so little. And it's like, you've got it in you to thrive. Yeah. You will figure it out because you've come from people who figured it out, who went through so much more hardships.
But why are we so fearful as a people? This is the thing though, bro. Like,
how do I put, no, I'm not I ain't gonna say it.
Our heritage, and you've touched upon so much in what you've just discussed, about us being empowered by our heritage. I think the important part about that as well is also to know where we've come from as a people, but also our direct lineage. So where's our grandparents come from? Where's our great-grandparents come from?
Where's the source? Where's the source?
For our own individual journeys. Because a lot of the times, black people can be united through the struggles of our ancestors, but we don't actually know.
Well, before we were against each other, we were together.
Yeah, but we don't know our own individual journeys as our families, etc.
There's so much I'd want to do as well. Like, coming from like a multi-cultural background, being Jamaican Indian, I'd like to know my Indian heritage and I'd like to know my Jamaican heritage. Yes. And I'm about to do this. I'm putting my pennies together in a pile and just. And bro, it's a time in my life I can't wait. Like, to just learn, sit down and just listen to my elders and think, this person's my family. I've not known them for 30 years of my life, but they're telling me so much that I'd never know if I've never come to see them, come to find them. So as you can probably tell with the skin tones, like, my skin's looking very like unenergetic and this guy's radiant. Like, you just come back from proper sun.
From yard.
From yard, man. And like, when I saw you, like, I was like killing some weeds in my life. When I turned around and saw you, I was happy, man. I was like, yo, is this what, like, you left what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Is this what 2 weeks can do to the body? Yeah. Like, I'm not saying you weren't healthy before, but the radiance of just seeing you, I was like, yo, are people not meant to stay here? Yeah. It's like, when people like, I said it when I'm like colleagues will say, or people you'll see, like, oh, the sun's out, it's nice. I'm like, this ain't proper sun. This ain't real sun. This is toxic sun. This ain't real. This isn't proper rays. No. Proper rays is in the islands or where our people are from. I said it to our friends yesterday. Like, my Asian friends too. I'm like, yo, it's not it. But it's good to be around people in the same mentality. It's like, we're here, okay, let's make the most of it. It's like United Kingdom is a great area to start business, to make money, to make work, to fund the life that you truly deserve and what you believe in, if that's wherever it is. But for me, it'd be like an island somewhere. Or even if it's like 6 months UK grafting, 6 months like enjoying the fruits. Yeah. Like that's the goal for me. Yeah. Because it's true. And the amount of healing your body's just gone through, that's what I think all of us need. Yeah.
And since the first time I went to Jamaica, I think it was 2018 or 2019. That was the first time I ever touched that.
Okay.
I felt so enlightened when I come back because I've been revitalized by good sun, revitalized by good food, good people, and the people of my heritage.
It's good and real. Everything you just said is like real food.
Yeah.
Real people.
Yeah. Because our interactions out there, like, it's not like the UK. The pressure isn't there like it is in the UK. The demands aren't there. Or maybe they are there, but their approach is so different.
body changes. Like almost you have to jump through holes or like jump through hoops when you're addressing certain people.
Yeah.
But I think over there, I've not been there in too long. Only when I was a kid, when my pops time ago. So I guess there, when you're just around your own people, you don't have to. You can just be you.
And an important factor of that as well is you are not a black person in Jamaica. You are a person in Jamaica.
It's there.
You haven't got that expectation.
But you've not got that label anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're a black person wandering through town. It's like, oh, you're going to Jamaica, you're in town.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Amongst my people.
You're not repping no colours, no hood, no area, no background, no expectation.
No.
It's just you there.
Yeah. And that is...
I'm saying it.
That's a weight.
I want to be there.
That's a weight that we carry day in, day out.
Oh, I've not thought of that.
And we don't know because we grew up in it. But when you go back to a country of your people and of your heritage, that weight is automatically lifted. It's not even a conscious thing, it's a subconscious thing.
So, have you felt the difference of you having to become that person again once you come back to the UK? Or do you still carry the way you walked in Jamaica to here?
I'm still carrying it up. What I'm learning, and this goes back to what I originally said about your heritage and understanding yourself, is I'm trying to learn to carry that heritage within me as an individual, so that it's never gone, so that I can walk amongst different walks of life in different areas and understand who I am and what I stand for, and I'm not being changed by the environment.
Nice. You're always you.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, you touched on something as well, saying the part of where you are in life as well. You said the dreaded TH word 30.
Yeah.
Now, I've addressed this for myself when I turned 30 before Jordan. I've addressed it with Jordan now, and being so close that we are, as 3 hours away, I'd like to know your feelings and thoughts on how you experienced turning 30. So the 29 to 30 life process. How do you feel? How did you feel?
So, turning 30, up until turning 30, I had no pressures or expectations. I had none.
Yes. Okay. Good start.
And it wasn't like, oh, I needed to be 30 and had a house, have a car, have a wife, have children, be setting up my business, etc. It wasn't that for me. Those elements are stuff that I've been looking at since I was younger, probably about 21. Right. It's that stuff that I've been looking at. So it didn't come as a pressure of, oh, I need to achieve this at the age of 30, or why have I not achieved this at the age of 30? However, saying that, you see when I hit 30, life hit me different.
Hard, bro.
Life hit me different.
It's almost like you've not been hit by life.
Yeah, up until
like, you come on, that's when it's like, oh man, life's tough. And this 30-year-old just sitting in the corner like, you don't even know.
No.
But what is it? What is it that 30 brings where it's like, yo, it's almost like I've taken off like the beer goggles or like the rose glasses and like, oh, this is the world now.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling like when you become 18
in
the UK, or like when you first become a teenager, or when you first like you lose the teens and now it's like I'm 20, not 19. That feeling of, even though it's just a number and it's an expectation based on what the number brings in terms of where you are in the world. Like 21's a big number for Americans, for example. Yeah. 18 for the UK, 16 for other places that are messed up. So it's just, is it the expectation, like the external expectation of what that number brings to your lifestyle because of where you live, or is it something else? Because I just feel like whenever someone says I'm 20 something, it's like, you're a student or you're doing something, you're still figuring it out. As soon as you put that TW turns into a TH, I'm 30. Oh, as soon as you hear that, it's like, cool. So what are your kids? Are you married? You got a woman? Are you saving? You got 401k started? You got like a trust fund for the kids? Are you gonna like all of that just starts to become a necessity? And I've spoken to people who don't feel that pressure. I've spoken to people that definitely do, and I've spoken to people very similar to myself where it's like, I don't believe in the number anymore being a worry, but I definitely did when I became 30.
Yeah.
So I've had to learn through me coming 30. I'm turning 31 next month. So I'd say halfway through the year, it took me, halfway through being 30, made me realize, you know what I was fearing in terms of the expectation of turning 30, it's nothing. Yeah. But it's something that you've got to go through. Some people might say by 35, because you know what 30s mean nothing. And some people just like, yeah, 30, so.
So, I think for me, it was an interesting process. So I've never been one for numbers. So I've always, I had a quote from way back. It's not how many years you've been on the earth, it's what you do the years that you've been gifted.
Okay, I like it.
So in essence, all it means is it's just about maximising on what you've been given. Don't look at a 50-year-old and think they've got all the answers. You can look at an 18-year-old and they might have more answers based on the experiences that they've got.
So it's the experience that makes the person, not necessarily
what
age.
you've learned from those experiences.
So age doesn't mean wisdom?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And that's a separate note, but I think that the older you get, the more you need to spend with younger people to learn more rather than spending it with older people.
That's interesting. A lot of people go against you and say like the older generation has the wisdom for what the young generation are being blinded by. And I think both aspects, what you just said as well as what I just said, makes sense, because the whole process of it takes a village. That's one thing I want to talk about too, in terms of, I was talking to my mum about this. I'm going to spin off now. I'm talking to my mum about this. I won't forget. And it's like almost like what made us. It was actually from a podcast. It's like what made us stop living together. And this podcast, I wish I knew the name for it, but this podcast was like, it was I think it was a Saudi guy. One white guy was trying to a Saudi guy, and it's just like, how have you got so much? It's like, well, I've got me and my 3-4 brothers. We lived under the same house.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, well then you move out. It's like, no, we didn't move out. We made money together. We got wives. We all lived together. We put the money in the pile. And when it came the right time, we got a house. And it's not like you separated from the family. They got a house that the family could still.
Because the family got bigger.
House. Yeah, the family got bigger, but they all invested in themselves and collectively. When the time was right, okay, you want to start a family? Cool. We've got the money. We've got the finances to help you, while the other 4 brothers were there with their wives living together. Just any money that was made come together. And it's like, imagine like, is it Blackish? It's like, I love the show Blackish because obviously it's hilarious, but whenever the kids had a problem and their parents weren't there, that's their grandparents. What their grandparents would teach them, their parents wouldn't. It wasn't always the right, but having that range and volume of knowledge is something that, if my mum and dad wasn't available, I'd have to figure out on my own, which is still very understandable and like for the individual to grow and learn. But that wealth of knowledge was all under the same roof. And that whole takes a village. If the mom's going out, dad's going out, all right, you've still got family. And unfortunately with myself, like compared to how I compared my life to it, I wasn't around my grandparents as much. So if I did, it was like a trip to London or trip elsewhere.
One day thing, then.
Yeah. And then like going back to my life. So that small injection of family or grandparents' knowledge and that wisdom was more visits instead, or like very rarely we'll stop over and that. So I was thinking, what if I had my grandparents close? Like my nephews and nieces have their grandparents close, not under the same roof, but they've got access to them. And I was like, you've already, like my nephews and nieces have seen more of their grandparents than I have in my life already. And the oldest is like 21. So, but when they were all like, in their like mid-teens, let's say, like when the oldest was like 15, they've already still seen more of their grandparents. So they've already been raised on a better foundation of family than I have already. And it's like, it's crazy. I've missed out, but almost like as the torch has been passed down, where little corrections have been made, it helps the youth. So I was like, why we change that? So
I think it's Western culture.
Oh, I know it's Western culture. That was my rebuttal. I was like, oh yeah, it's like takes a video. I was like, yeah, well, look where we are. Look what the norm is here. And
Western culture doesn't promote it. In British Western culture does not promote unity. It promotes independence. It promotes, okay, at the age of 16, if you're not in education, you need to go out and work in. If by the age of 18, you need to have left the house.
Trust. And everyone just like, you're 18, you're leaving the house? Why? Oh, because you have to pay. So, all right, cool. I'd rather pay and live. I'd rather pay a fraction. Hopefully, the family loves and mates rates or family discount.
Yeah.
But let's just understand finances together before I get sent into the world, get a mortgage or whatever. And I'm like, I'm renting. I'm getting X amount in. I'm spending that much out. I've got enough. I don't know how to live off it. Like, let's just allow the kids to like understand the world bit by bit, because right now no one can afford it. and it's getting worse and worse.
Have they ever been able to afford it, or have they just made best of a bad
it's
situation?
Like the UK is capitalizing on capitalism.
Yeah,
it's just, well, if it's a broken system, why are we still going for it? Because there are other cultures that see that. I'm like, okay,
it
was like, no, I'm staying with my family, but because it's almost frowned upon, it's like, oh yeah, you stay with your mum. There's like, and then you see like bear man with their cars, or like their family's going really well, like their family's like a close unit, but some person hasn't seen their brother or sister or grandparents in time, but they're down the road or something. But you're also losing that separation, that connection you've had. It's like, let's go visit grandma and granddad. It's like, no, but we should go and just
if you deep it around it. If you deep it, what does it actually create? What does this ideal of independence create? Okay, so the age of 18, I'm moving out. All right, then so that means I'm paying rent to somebody. That means I'm paying tax to somebody.
Yes.
We're just a number in the system here.
National insurance too.
Yes, national insurance, all of them taxes there. You see, when you move out at 18, you're on it. You pay back into the government. You've been in school for however long. We've been funding you for however long. It's time for you to pay it back.
It's like, yeah, you're 18, come. Yeah, another number added, come. Start paying us back. Whatever you can afford, bring it. If you can't afford it, bring it.
It's the government that running things, not the family.
But the family can go against it by simply staying together.
But knowledge, that isn't, it's knowledge. A lot of people in certain other cultures, and they'll be quite open, the South Asian culture promote it.
Do it so well.
Yeah, do it so well. The South Asian community do it so well.
I definitely would. It's something that I'm probably going to talk to my family about in the next couple of months, maybe next year or so. It's like, all right, what can we do to help each other financially, keep the family solid?
Yeah.
Where when we know definitely personally as well, when rainy days happen, we're together.
Yeah. So
it's very important because, let's face it, you can't guarantee what's going to happen in the world. And we know one thing for sure, it's going to be expensive. So, and there's not much help. So if the family can come together and support each other, and that's an option, then I think it's just ignorance. Ignorance is business. Like, yeah, it's working for some cultures, but I don't want to do it. Why? Because how it's working for yourself, it's not going well.
So ignorance, it's trying to change ego as well. Is ignorance and ego.
The black person's ego is probably our biggest worry, to be honest.
Oh yeah, because it's like I can do. Why does it have to be I? Why can't it be we?
We.
Why do you have to be the leader?
Why does there have to be a leader? It's like, like we say this so many times. Like, we've got our own separate things going on for like our goals, ambitions, and dreams, and it's just, if one person's doing well, it's not one person looking down on another. It's like, I'm doing well. How can we do well with what I've done? And it's ignorance on both ways. It's the person on top not wanting to help the person below, and it's also the person below not wanting the help from the person on top. Yeah. Because it's like, not only ignorance, it's arrogance, and it's just, it could be jealousy. It could be just the Judas mentality. It's like, I don't want your help. You're great. What have you done to help me? Oh, let me help you. I want your help. How are we supposed to win if we're always each other's enemies? Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Like, competition is I believe that competition is a positive outlet, or can be a positive attribution. But not when you're standing on people to climb the ladder. It should be, okay, then I'm doing well, you're doing well. How can we sharpen each other's iron? Yes. What skill sets can I take from you? What skill sets can you take from me, so that we can sharpen each other?
We've both done something differently. So what can you see from what I'm doing that I can improve on to benefit myself, and vice versa? Yeah. Everyone goes through something differently in their life that makes them see the world differently. If we can at least try and find an equal playing field where we can speak to each other, where we can learn from each other, no matter what the age, no matter what the experience. So it could be like, oh yeah, why would I ask your help? You've only just started a company. You've been doing it for 20 years. But it's not about...
It's about vision as well.
Yeah. It's like, you want to help me? Be accepting. Yeah. For help. Even if you're on the top of your game, you can always learn more. It's like when you're fighting or when you're trying to improve a skill. If you're the best in your group at something, you can't learn from someone. Find someone else. There's always going to be someone better that you can learn from.
And right, so you brought martial arts into it. So say, for example, you're a black belt. That does not mean that there isn't a white belt out there. So black belt being the highest, then white belt being the beginner. Yeah. That doesn't mean that there isn't a white belt out there, that can't teach you something. it might be a bit more agile, so you have to work on something. It might be a bit stronger, or whatever their strength is. You can still learn from them.
It's ignorance. It's going back to ignorance to thinking because I'm this, or because I have this level, this label, this like this credit. I shouldn't have to look down to learn something. I always have to look up.
Look
if you want to
around.
learn something, you look around.
Look around.
You look around. Like you could even learn like when people like cross train. It's like LeBron James did it. Like he started like a biking company because of it, but he wanted to improve his fitness. But he didn't want to keep doing training because obviously the pressure of basketball and the drinks. So he found a way to improve his fitness through a biking scheme where you're still training the same muscles but with less tension onto the joints. So he's improving his basketballing from like his fitness in the gym, should I say, by going across a different sport. But if you go into an arrogant like football players, like, oh, you're doing great at football, top of your game, you're the next Ronaldo. But there's this like heptathlon athlete that I think you can learn from because of your fitness. And then it's like the football playing, like, well, that's a different sport. Why would I want to do that for? It's like maybe they can learn more about, I don't know, your muscular endurance. You can improve your CO2 max. Your VO2 max, sorry. You can improve your your recovery. These are things that if you are open to learn, you can improve more. So that's why like footballers start weight training and different like.
And that's the beauty of sport today, because there is a lot more crossover than how it was historically.
You have to become a professional to realize it takes the right person's mindset, not ego, but mindset to learn more, to think, okay, I'm good, how can I be better? That's why some footballers are playing like there's fitter football players who are playing like in their mid-30s kind of thing. Like Modric, I think he's like 30.
And they're pushing it back now, isn't it? Like the age is being pushed back for most sports.
Well, especially with the Dubai money, because like, it used to be America, it used to be like MLS, like, okay, you're too slow for the Prem in the UK, but you're perfect for it. You've got a couple more seasons in the US. And it's like, because the US is still developing, the same with China developing too. But Dubai right now, the Arab leagues are killing it. I need to get one of the sports company to talk.
To be fair though, the sport icon, that would be perfect for Saudi.
Bro,
icon would be perfect.
I'm drafting teams now, like sports specific performance improvement.
I can see you there, with a tiger. I can see you there just walking
the street. If everything goes well, I'm definitely a person with a tiger. I love cats too much. I've got that impulsive side in me. I can see a leopard behind the gate. And part of me wants to go like, let me in. Don't worry, I'll look in his eyes and it will know I'm a cat person.
Come here.
To this now, like
stripes.
Trust. Like, it's just in me. I'm like, it's fine. It's a wild cat. The last trainer he ate, but it's me.
It's cool. I know how to run the thing.
It's like, the last trainer, like, he didn't do the right. You know what I mean? Right? It wasn't speaking the language. Speak the language. It was sensed by lion heart. And I'm like, yo, this is the guy.
I'm from the jungle.
There you go. I'm like the Tarzan's version of Mufasa. You know what I mean? Like, rolling with apes and that. I was rolling with tigers. But I'll definitely set up if I'm setting up in Dubai, that's it, man. I'll do that. Run a few companies back in the UK and then have a few things going on. That's the end goal for me. I spoke to Raj yesterday. We talked about how we like to link up with Raj. And,
big up Raj.
Yeah, the businessman.
And his wife as well. And his wife.
Yeah, we need to go see him.
The great.
I told him, let's go see your house and your wife. Like, mainly because I know you got a cat and I want to see your cat. But I told him straight, like, I heard you got a cat, so, it's the first thing he said to me. Is like, yo, I got your cage, come over. Not like, yo, come see the missus. Like, come see the house. I was like, yo, come see the cat. People know that it's just.
Mari's cat.
I like cats in it.
Cool. I'm surprised you haven't been to that cat cafe.
I'm still hygienic though. Like, if all the cats that I approve were there, it's calm. But I don't know how they've been fed. Like I love my cat, but my cat's not coming on the desk. Like, when my cat sees me with food, it will ask for it from a distance. It's not gonna be like, yo,
violate me.
Let me just put my paw in your food. Nah, it's not. So I don't know how they've been raised. Those cats might have been westernized.
Like, capitalism.
It's like you're moving with too much. What's the thing that white people have now? When white people move with too much. I don't know. I don't know. I've said it too many times as well. I forgot it too. Privilege.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like you're moving too much privilege. Like, yeah, just no. There's
It's
no.
the fact that you've associated privilege with white people.
No,
like,
no. I've associated. Let me correct this. Not correct. Let me just explain. I'm not associating privilege with white people. I associate the mannerisms of a cat stepping out of line.
Okay, big
Yeah,
privilege. Right,
it's just if we're talking about clues, I'm like, yo, what do white people have right now in privilege? You get me?
Yeah.
Just clarify. It's not that serious. But yeah, man. So what's going on with you now, man? What's the last couple months of this year, 2023, looking for you?
I'm just trying to secure some plans for the beginning of 2024. God willing.
Oh, you thinking ahead like that?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's really interesting. So, you know this because you've dragged me out many a time. But on New Year's Eve, I like to sit, manifest, meditate.
It's good. I'm not kissing my teeth on the bad thing.
But this brother's constantly trying to pull man out. I'm like, no, bro. No, I'll come to your yard, you know. No, bro. Like, let me just do one thing.
You want to come to your job instead?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't run home.
Yeah.
But did you have a good time New Year's Day?
Yeah, I did
It
have a
was
good
hard.
time.
It was mad.
Pick up the mill.
That's why it was called the mill. Yeah.
But yeah, so I looked at it probably around July time, like what I wrote out and what I planned. And I thought it was a lot more material things.
Oh, so you write down your plans in that? Like, do you like a 1 year, 5 year, 10 year plan?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't do that, you know.
Oh, okay.
I write down like to-do lists, but I struggle to just see myself doing things.
Okay.
I've got like, I don't know, I'll cuss myself. Like, you know, I don't like people telling me what to do. Not because like I refuse to listen to like superiors. It's just when someone says, oh, I think you should do this. It's like, okay, I think it's cool. But when they say, yeah, you should do this, I instantly I stop listening. Like, so what made you think that you can tell me what to do?
But it's not that.
It's not. It's a conversation I have in my head to be like, no, they don't mean it like that. They mean it like this. They're just not like, they're not wording the sentence correctly.
Linguistics
but
ain't great.
I do that to myself. So I've actually, when I last tried to do like a month plan, just a month, I couldn't do it. Because when it got to the end of the month, I'm reading it. I'm reading what I said at the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Like that person was in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you think you can tell me what to do? And it's me. Like, who are you to tell me what to do?
You yourself,
So I'm myself. I still can't do it. So instead of like, you should do this by this day, it's like, well, you don't know what I've been through. You're saying it 30 days before, but you don't know what those 30 days have included. So my way around it has been, listen, within the next 30 days, I've had to like be a HR for myself, all right? Let's try to do this.
Yeah.
All things pending.
Yeah.
So it's more of a to-do list with no time frame. That's how I work. There's bigger ones that like obviously you can't do straight away.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, by this era, not a specific date or time, but like I would say like by a winter. I'll do by the end of the year because that's like the biggest way of like the world resets.
Yeah.
So like by 2023, that's probably the closest. But I can write anything within 2023. So by the end of 23, let's try and get this done. If you can get done tomorrow, you can get done tomorrow. But there's some of them that will take a few months. But I can't say, yo, 5 year plan, do this. It bothers me.
So I don't so much have timescales. So I've got a plan of what I want to achieve in life. There's key elements and there's a certain process that I want to follow. God willing, if I can follow this process and this route, I will follow it. When I set those objectives at the end of the year, beginning of the new start, the more things I want to achieve overall throughout that year.
Okay.
So they're not time scaled as in, okay, this month. I will work on a time scale within like months or weeks if it's something that I'm working to a deadline. So when I've been applying for the Royal Air Force and I've been going through the fitness test and whatever, I've time scaled plans for that.
Yeah, because of like the dates within that plan.
But when I set my objectives at the beginning of the year, a lot of it was to do with, I want to spend more time with family. I want to learn more about family. I want to be more kind of in a caring environment with them, rather than it just being, I'm just going to see them or I'm kind of ticking the boxes. I want it to have substance when I'm with them.
I hear that. I've done something similar where I just want to be more involved.
Yeah. Whereas when I looked at it within the June-July period, I noticed that I was actually doing this.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So when I looked at, there was other things included on there as well. But I was like, right, I've actually been doing this.
Nice. Subconsciously.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
I set it at the beginning of the year, and then I kind of followed it through, but I didn't revisit it until that point. So basically, to give further context, obviously, my father passed away in June. Rest in peace. So I was going through a bit of a period where I kind of wanted to see where I was at as an individual, and what direction I was going in life, etc.
Yeah.
So I revisited my, I've got like a little diary.
Okay.
Revisited the diary and I'll see.
You're organised, bro. Like, I still got diaries from 2019 that have not been filled out.
Yeah, I like to journal though. Yeah, obviously. So yeah, I revisited and I looked at where I was at and what I was on. I actually threw myself back a little bit.
Okay.
And then further from that, I looked at stuff that I journaled 5-6 years back that I'd actually done or on the process to achieving, and I'd forgotten about them.
That feeling must have been nice.
Bruv.
Wow.
And it's important to put stuff out there. It is so important because the energy just attracts it.
I used to be like, I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning more towards I understand. The more I understand, the more I can believe in it. Like, I can't have someone just tell me, I'm like, okay, where's your research? Show me working. Like, don't give me an answer to a sum. Show me the math.
But you can't, because you have to experience it.
That's the way I am. That's the way I am, because it's definitely experience. But it made me realize, okay, certain things you can't show the work in. You've got to be that work in. You put the work in, and then you realize the outcome is because of the way you put in. So you've got to believe that you'll get to the answer as long as you go through that minefield of experience. And I used to be like, yeah, people like positive like affirmations and like wishing to you write it down and forget about it, but because you put it out there, the world's gonna align perfectly for it. Before I was like,
it doesn't align perfectly.
It's like you'll get your answer, but not in the way that you expected it to.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not like, oh yeah, I want this for them because you've passed all the tests. It's like it's more the opportunity reveals itself in a way where it's almost like it's outside of the norm of your life. It's like, okay, it's not like hidden somewhere. It's like almost like the Matrix. Like, you know, like he got like deja vu and then like there's a wall where there usually is no wall. It's like within your normal day to day, something is there that you're aware of it. But if you make note of it, it means something. And I've only done that once. It was at the beginning of the year, and I was like, I wrote it down. So maybe I do. And I was like, I want this to happen. And I want this to happen. And afterwards, I was like, I also want to be able to acknowledge the sign, the symbol, the window of opportunity. And thank you. And because it's like the ego. I know that because I've been humble or because I choose to ignore signs and symbols, I know I missed out on opportunities that I could have benefited from, I could have learned from, or I could have like experienced a different way or learned more about myself, like opting into an opportunity instead of saying, you know what, I'll stay within this circle because I know this circle. That's outside of the norm. And even though I know that you learn more outside, I didn't want to take an opportunity. So I understood that I do that, and I've also allowed myself to understand it's a weakness, and to learn more, I need to experience more.
Development point.
An area of improvement. So it allowed me to be like, okay, I understand that I can't always see the window, I can't always see the opportunity, but allow me, make a bigger sign. Like, I'm not good at it, but allow me more opportunities to make sure that I can have that third eye and know that feeling that I have, like when something or someone will say something or someone just reveals themselves in my life, I'm like, you're more than just a person, kind of thing. And it almost happened, I wouldn't say instantly, but within like, I thought like months or whatever, but it's only when it started happening, I didn't know until I came across that note again. I was like, yo, that person was this, or the opportunity was that, or that experience was this. all those things just got ticked off. And I didn't even know. It felt normal until I stepped out and realized and found out this. I was like, raw, this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So that made me question, okay, there's certain to this. I'm not all the way in, but I'm like, there's certain to it. There's certain to it. So the way I did it and the way I'm learning is what works for me.
Yeah.
So that's on my to-do list of what I'm going to write for next year. Just because I like that reset button. I like that feeling of new year, new me. But it's like, now I'm ready to
embrace
the element of like experiences and understanding and lessons. So it made me realize, okay, there's something to it.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, that's honestly.
Okay. So, can you feel shifts in your life? Can you feel when you're on a path or you're at a fork in the road?
Yeah, but me being me, I don't like it because I can't control it, and that's something that I've realized, especially now this year. I'm not controlling, but I like to understand where it came from and why it's there.
Yeah.
When I feel and see something different, when I come to that fork, and it's like left or right, in my head I want to go both ways. So I understand if I choose one, what's the other offering?
Yeah.
But I know that I can't do that. Once I choose one, the other option's gone. So you've got to make that decision for yourself. Because most of the time, like I said before, when there's a fork in the road, what I've done normally is just go back until I find something else and then try to go somewhere else. But instead, like, that's my path. No matter what, that's my path.
Yeah.
But what I've done instead now is like, okay, I'll come to a fork, left or right.
Yeah.
I'll do some soul searching first,
Yeah.
but left or right.
Yeah.
I'll make a decision instead of like, you know what, I'll stay here until the fork blends into one road. A few seasons will come and the roads are gone, and then like, a new little side path comes.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather wait and do nothing. You can't make me choose. I'm stubborn. Left or right, straight. Or if I'll make my own path. But that was stubbornness, and sometimes it's actually been beneficial, or it's brought me to whatever left or right path was, just the long way.
Yeah.
And I felt that I'm like, you know what, I should have just done that instead. Because I guarantee, if I just went that way, I would have come to this a lot easier with a lot less problems on the way.
We can't control everything.
That's what I'm learning to not understand, but accept. And that's probably the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sit with you with that.
Because I'm a family guy too. I'm definitely a family guy, so I want to control everything to make sure I can protect everyone that I care about. But understanding I can't is probably the hardest thing for me. Not for myself, but because I want to make sure everyone's cool. Like, I will, like, if I had to go through hell to make sure my family don't, I'll do that without second guessing it. Even if the family was like, listen, we'll all go through this and we'll all have like struggles, ups and downs. Like, now I'd rather you all have ups and I'll just have all the downs for myself.
And I've seen that over the years that I've known you, bro. I've seen that, and I've seen the way that you interact with. And to be fair though, it's not just your family that you do that with. You've got your family and you've got extended family, and then you've got random people, but I've seen you do that with. You do that with as well.
Yeah. I went out with like the work lot, and Joe came with me, and I did that too. I found out one guy. This was it's probably nothing compared to what an example you're saying, but one guy at the bar, I must have overheard it was his birthday, and I was like, yeah. So I'm gonna order a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's not feminine to order a cocktail, is it?
No.
Alright, cool, because it's 2 for 1. So I wanna feel about it, but like,
yeah, you gotta be frugal sometimes.
Like, listen, when you work in the bar, you know what kind of cocktails. Yeah. So order a cocktail, and then one's like, oh, what cocktail is that? It smells strong. I'm like, yeah, I pay an extra bit, a little bit more shot of Ray Nephew in it too. He's like, yeah, it's a zombie, but I told him to throw a bit of Ray Nephew in it. Like, Ray Nephew, what's that? I was like, isn't it one of your birthdays? I looked at me weird. I was like, yeah, I heard you talk loud. And it's your birthday. Whose birthday is it? Well, the biggest guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know the guys that like have the height of a 28-year-old
Giant.
but they look 17.
Yeah.
I was like, raw. You're massive. It's your birthday. I was like, my neck's always like this because yeah, taller than me. But I'm like, you're usually this height for me. But he was like, there. I was like, it's your birthday. He's like, yeah. I looked at his friends. He's like, you better crap friends. Let me tell you why. He shouldn't be standing right now. Like, what? I was like, bartender, I got no money now, I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm broke. Bartender, shot Ray Nephews for this guy. If he does it quick and get another one, like, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, just gonna put I was like, I don't know what the fuck he did that. You don't know him? I was like, I know, but he needs to have a good birthday.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, if I can add something to his experience, even if he made him throw up, it's like, I don't know. But I also pride myself on not being that friendly guy as well.
Why?
Because, I don't even know. I just feel like if you're too friendly, in my past experience, if you're just too nice, if you're too outgoing, if you're too caring, you learn the hard way that people take advantage of that too.
Yeah.
So you can't be too openly happy, go jolly. Like, in a perfect world, everyone's cool.
Yeah.
It's not. It's more than the opposite of a perfect world. So you got to be careful who you're around. It just takes the one person who's had a rough night or going through some stuff. Hearing one person buy a drink for someone or buy food for someone when you're giving food or money to a homeless person, it's like, what's this person got money? Clearly he's got money to spare. You're in danger now, because that jealousy turns into turns into evil kind of thing. So you've got to be careful as well. So it's the place. It depends on my mood and how I feel in terms of my safety and how courageous I feel within that, how certain I feel within that situation. And I felt good. I felt happy. I felt protected. And I felt like I could defend myself. Even if you feel like that, it can go the opposite way. But that's how I felt. And I was like, because I feel good, I can spread good. If I don't feel good...
Do you feel good afterwards?
I always feel good afterwards because you want to help people. But you've almost got to control it. Because there's certain times where you've got to make sure you can't almost show your emotions. Yeah. Until you are sure. Yeah. And because of that, I always, if I'm in a new room, a new place... I watch, I look, I learn, I listen before I act. Not everyone does that. Unfortunately, the ones who are always in trouble or the ones who get into trouble or the ones who act a certain way are people who act on impulse before making a knowledgeable decision.
I'm going to ballpark with you based on that. I've recently come to a point where I'm trying to understand purpose. So based off me trying to understand purpose, I believe that every person has a true innate characteristic of who their being is, so who they're supposed to be. So I feel like I'm a protector.
Definitely.
That's my natural inhibition. You know, it doesn't matter if I know somebody, if I don't know them.
I see that in you. You almost got all this into trouble because of your protective ways.
I don't record that.
You won't. Superman doesn't question what he does, he just does it, you get me? But yeah, you're very much capes always on kind of person.
But like you said, you have to balance that. There's other people out there that are healers, there's other people out there that are carers, there's other people out there that are analysts. Yes. There's lots of different types of people. I feel that for me, and from observations, when people start to stray from that, whether that's within the work and they find a job that's not befitting for those characteristics, or if they start to interact with people in a way that's not reflective of that core element, that's when you end up losing yourself. Okay. So when they're acting out of their norm. Yeah, so when they're acting out of their inability, their ability, sorry, not inability, their ability. So if they're a protector and they stop protecting people and they let people fall down left, right and centre, if they're a carer and they start being negligent towards people, you end up eating away and poisoning yourself. But it's almost, that balance is key, because if you're always a carer, it's like if you take time out for yourself and others get hurt because you're not there to heal them, you almost take the blame. But I've had people tell me, it's like, listen, you can't always be there for people, because if you're always there for people, you're hindering their growth. Yeah. Because they're not learning their own lessons due to whenever life gets there, because they're always relying on you to protect them. Yeah. So there you step away and life hurts them, you'll take the blame or you'll feel guilty, when really they should be able to protect themselves and certain things too. But I think that's an extended level of protection. It's creating a safe space, a wider space where that individual can make the mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and you've still protected them in a certain element. It doesn't mean that you have to go and put your cape on and stand in front of them and accept a bullet. It's understanding that there's different levels to your ability. So your healing may not mean that you've got to give somebody a medication for them. Your healing may be, okay, then go on this journey to find the herb that may be able to heal you. Okay. It might not be a direct input on that individual. It could be an indirect one. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
it's like adding steps in between. It's not like going, okay, problem solved. It's like go through the process to find the healing or for the solving.
But you're still being true to yourself.
Yeah, you're being true to yourself and you're allowing them to go through a process and fix it too.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a bit mad. Because we didn't think like that. Well, we've always we've always had like deep conversations like this, and we usually go deeper than this.
Yeah.
In terms of like life in general, but it's only a few people, like I said, like inside and outside the regular family or extended family that you feel comfortable to talk about this to. In our last episode, this is like a sub episode of like OJ and Friends. But in our last episode, I asked questions and to our viewers. I can't say the general, probably just the people who view the thing. Of like red flags that they find unacceptable, that the world is comfortable to accept. And one of them, like for an example, one of them was height. And it was height from a girl's perspective and a guy's perspective. I love this because it was like the guy was like height, yeah. Like the girl was like, if they're, I don't even quite recall, but if they're shorter than me, it's just a no.
Okay.
Just pick like she even put like, you know when like the girls getting their nails paid.
Yeah.
It's like showing me it's a no, that's it. Another one was like, I'm 5'10". I'm 5'9", so this guy was stressing. I was like, it must be nice. This guy was like, I'm 5'10", and girls want a 6 foot person over, and it's like, you know what I call girls over 6, because he was complaining about the girls being too tall. Girls was getting taller. I'm 5'10", and girls are like taller than me and all that. And he says, you know what I call girls over 5'10"? Trees.
That's rude. That's disrespectful.
Bro, he was clearly hurting. It was clearly hurting. I even said like, I'm 5'9", so like, maybe he's just attracted to taller girls. Because it was actually part of a context that we had for like, you know, like an agony aunt. Yeah. We were agony uncles. It was like, ask Uncle OJ, what's up? And people just stress their problems in it. One of them, I want to know your opinion on the height, but I think I've already got that anyway. But this one was, should I bring this one up? Yeah, well, it's like one guy was like, listen, I'm 28. I'm drafting it, but still, it's like, I'm 28. Why at 28 do I have to settle for baby daddy duties? Like why do I have to settle for baby mamas?
Okay.
And then he continued to say, parents should date over parents. What are your thoughts on that?
Do you want to do the height one or the...
We'll get the height one first, because the second one is definitely like a deeper situation.
Yeah. So the height one, it doesn't bother me. Sure.
How tall are you? Just because there is a bias, but we know you being truth anyway.
I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1", but that doesn't affect the height element. I don't want a short woman, or I wouldn't want a short woman or a taller woman. My partner's shorter than me, but I look at the qualities of a woman.
Okay.
Not the physicality of a woman solely. Of course I look at the physicality, because you want an attractive partner, but it's the inside that actually matters more to me, and always has. I wouldn't mind dating somebody that was 6'4". I would say, alright, cool, run it. Like, our children are going to be strong and cool. Like, but on the flip, I wouldn't mind someone that was 5'4".
What, a little person?
Like,
I don't know the right terminology, so I say little person.
Okay. The man said I don't know the right. Is it
a bit too serious?
Is it dwarfism?
I don't know.
I want to say dwarfism, but I'm not sure. If you do know out there, please correct us, because knowledge is key and we always need to learn.
That's a great hook. Disclosure, listen, we don't know that. You educate us, then we know the difference.
Yeah. Do you know the thing is? So I've been quite blessed to work with people with disabilities. Okay. Because of my job and because of my role and whatever. And I've been doing this since I was 21.
Long time.
Yeah. So there's been times where there's been people, wheelchair users or visually impaired people or whatever, and I think, you know what, like, you're a vibe. That hasn't.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like, okay, then no, you've got a disability or you're experiencing a disability. Let me just X you off. Like it's done. I'm not saying I have dated them because there are certain responsibilities, which kind of flows into your next thing that you mentioned. When you date somebody, there are certain responsibilities that you have to accept.
True.
So whether they've got a disability or if they've got a mental health concern or if they've just lived life and experienced certain things.
Are these things that people should tell you straight away? So moving more towards like baby mothers.
Yeah, 100%.
They should say straight away.
Yeah.
On the rebuttal, just playing devil's advocate because I like these conversations. If you're a baby daddy, and you're dating and like it didn't work unfortunately, for whatever reason, and now you're dating, like obviously single women, do you tell them straight away?
Right. So one baby, 2 flags here, got a green one and a red one.
Cool.
Right. If I tell them straight away, that's a green flag. That's how I view that.
But what if telling them straight away?
What pushes them away?
What is the chance of you finding?
They know a damn fool and I don't want to deal with them.
Nice. So no matter what, like, it's your responsibility to say this is not everything's on the table. Like this is what's going on.
Yeah. There's certain traits of an individual that don't have to be disclosed at the beginning.
Like what?
Certain things that I believe that, say for example, you've had some sort of trauma and you're not at a place. I don't think you need to disclose the deep rootedness of the trauma.
You don't need the trauma done straight away.
Yeah, but you could, a green flag, you could turn around and say, you know what, I've experienced a few things in my life, you know. I'm not at a point where I can resolve them or delve into them, but this is the effect that it has on me sometimes.
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Just be aware of it. It is something that I either do want to deal with or don't want to deal with, but that transparency there, you don't have to delve into what is actually happening.
Nice. Okay, I like it. What about kids? So kids wise, you like, this is me.
Yeah.
And because my child is my child, this is also me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reason being, when you've got children, it's 2 lives you're affecting.
Yes.
The person that you're dating or you're looking to be in a long-term relationship or whatever it may be, and the individual, the child. When whether you're the baby father or the baby mother or the person on the receiving end, if the communication's not there, you're affecting either 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
Or all 3.
I think it affects you at home as well. If you're hiding your child from your potential partners, I think you're subconsciously hiding your child from yourself as well. Yeah. If you're stepping out of that house on dates, and pretending to not have a child, then you're becoming a different person living a different life outside that house. Yeah. And then consciously as well. And then you get home, and then you're now living 2 lives: a single life, a childless life, and a child full life. Yeah. And that will have an effect on the child.
Because it doesn't mean to say that if you disclose to the individual you want to date that you've got a child, that you can't have a life that's independent of the child in part. It can't be solely independent because you've got a child and that's your responsibility.
Well, everything you do has an effect on the child.
But if you've got a support network in place, you can still go on dates and you can go wherever you want to go and interact with your partner. As you as an individual.
Would you say that as an advice for those ready to date with a child, make sure everything's settled before going into it? Like almost like if you've gone into a previous relationship and you're still flag on my face, and you're still healing from it. You should heal before going into a date or before going making single. Shouldn't you be ready to date? Have everything in order for the child before going to date?
So I'm going to speak from a place of ignorance because I haven't got any children. I've never been in this situation. So this is just off speculation. I want to say no intuitively. Okay. In an ideal world, it would be a yes. It would be in a utopia, it would be yes. And the reasons why it would be yes would be because you'd want a structure in place for the child. You'd want a structure in place for yourself. You want the relationship to be whole within you and the child as a parent and the child. The reason why I think I said no is because I understand that the world isn't perfect and a lot of growth and development needs to be had on that path as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you need to learn by taking that step and be like, all right, I am going to date. It's not okay at home because life isn't perfect. I think you just have to kind of work on a percentage basis and be like, yo, things at the moment are 75 to 80% need a child. Let me just take a step, and that's when you processing it, or you progressing.
Like a stage to take a leap, I can take a step. Okay, I like,
Whereas if you're at 100% or 90%, say 95%, you might be ready to take a leap.
There you go. So it depends on readiness for yourself.
Yeah.
Like it.
What are your thoughts on it?
I have many thoughts. Well, one of my nicknames at uni was Baby Daddy because I don't know if it was Stoke because we went to Stafford University.
His key is great, by the way. Sorry.
You ever seen Bang on Patch for too?
Yeah.
Yo, banging. I drank mine too quick. Should have got a bigger cup.
Yeah.
But yo, I sipped it. I was like, oh, it's like new thing now still.
Go on then. Sorry.
But, no, you're right. It's great. But yeah. So I was Baby Daddy because apparently. I think it was because like a lot of women went out with their moms in Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent. That was new to us.
Yeah.
That time you came out in Stoke anyway.
Yeah.
So it was new to us, and apparently I just give off. This guy will be a great dad.
He gonna be protector. He gonna bring the house.
Because I was attracting all mums, which was mad.
Yeah.
Which was still to this day unhinged. Mums.
You say Staffordshire days. This is from Slug and Lettuce days.
Yeah, it was.
It was before them, bro.
It meant more at Staffordshire. Like, during uni, especially with freshies, you want to go out. You want to go on a mad one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still getting the whole, so I got a kid, be a great dad, I can tell you be a great. I'm like, I don't want to chat like this. Like, I want to make spelling mistakes when I'm trying to send you a dick pic. Kind of thing. Not in that detail. but that just kind of, like, I was on it.
Bro.
I ain't tell you. I was on an immature stage, innit?
Yeah.
I'm a freshman at uni. I'm trying to go crazy because that's probably why, because I've had moms try to chat to me in prom. Now I'm at uni during freshers week. I'm now allowed to be the immature guy and just be just the wild, like, I wasn't even a teenager. What was that, a teenager? No, not a teenager.
Yeah, 20.
Oh no, the wild young you in it, as everyone else is. Why am I still getting singled out by the mums? So that's when it made me realize, like, okay, what? It's not just because I thought it was just look letters, or I thought it was just like certain areas, or just what I was doing. Or let me just act different, or let me just act different in a different place, and it was still the same. So because of that was a long way of getting to it. Because of that, like I've been approached, and I still get approached by baby mums, like by mums in general, and I've respectively, like, there's women that, like, I've connected with, and I'm like, you know what, it's something I can take upon, and there's others that I find myself not being able to take upon too. But based on, like, what you said, how the person represents themselves as a parent, like, in terms of 80%, I've spoken to people who are in 80%, 90%, like, they're ready, and how they present themselves within these dating apps or in just general chatting or going out. It tells me, the recipient of, or the person going on a date, how ready they are as a parent. That could be very heavy, what I just said, but it shows me, because I've not seen you as a parent around your child, but I've seen you how you act. I've spoken to women who have hid their children, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I've spoken to women who have, like, not reported they've got a child on their profile, or they said, once I've met up with them, second or third day, by the way, I've got a kid. And I understand why, because I'm sure previously they've, like, not been having luck in terms of continuing on and getting to know someone because of it. So you can probably understand how I felt at a certain time, but because I knew the person, or because of how I understood the person, I've got empathy of, like, okay, I get how you are, and I get how this could be perceived. I'm definitely more of an empathetic person to say, okay, I'd like to decide, like, again, I'd like to look, learn, and listen understand both sides as much as I can before acting on it. And I've had to, and unfortunately, I've spoken to people who are acting like they're in Freshers Week, but they're like big like late 30s or something, or early 40s. I need to change my settings on Hinge, but but I've spoken to I call them big people. If they're older than me, I call them big people. So it's not about age, but it's just how I just like go through my settings in my head. So I've spoken to big people. I'm like, how am I more mature than you? Because you're a big person, but acting like you're 18. Yeah. And now you told me you've got a kid. I'm like, yeah, you've shown me enough of what kind of parent you are. Based on my understanding, I could be wrong, but it's enough for me to make a decision. Like, you know what, I'm not ready for that with you. Because it's something like I'm ready for. And like, as you get older, based on rapping all the way back to like 30, that's one thing, based on what the guy said at 28, it's one thing that you have to take into consideration now. Women have a biological clock. Men can keep shooting until we're shooting. Women don't. So because of that, as you get older, that window of finding a person, if it's I'm gonna say it right generally, because every guy wants to be with someone who hasn't started a family. Maybe some don't, but I'm gonna say the majority of people want to be with someone. Like it's a whole untouched flower thing.
And the responsibility aspect as well.
You want to go through that with someone. You want to go through like, let's learn together. You're ahead of me. You've gone through this already. You've got experiences. You've got what you've learned with your partner. You've got almost a biased understanding, because maybe with me it could have been different. It could have been better, it could have been worse, but we could have learned at the same time. Like we'll be in the same classroom instead of you being like 2 years above me, kind of thing.
What's your question? Sorry, alongside. Two questions. First question, would you adopt a child? Second question, if you were to adopt a child, how old would that child be when you adopted them?
I'll answer the latter first. No age.
Okay, cool.
But it all depends on the first question being, as long as I'm adopting with someone who hasn't got a child or adopted before. Because as a single man, I will have a bias. I would prefer a woman who hasn't got a child. And if I'm with someone and we choose not to have a child for any reason, for any personal reason, whatever, because I definitely want kids. Because of you, I want more than two as well. I didn't want more than two. But based on our yard conversation, I'm like, you know what, yeah, man, I want a village. I want bare kids. Sorry, future wifey, but because of him, I want bare kids. He convinced me, like, yo, run it, plug the hole. No.
Well, that's what's low.
Like I said, but I'll definitely want the experience to be shared between myself and my wife.
Yeah.
So no age.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been blessed to be like my oldest niece is 21, so I was an uncle at 9. So a very good concept. I spoke to my friend Daniel, remind me, just mentioned the name Daniel, I remember, but about being an uncle. But I was blessed to be an uncle at an early age, so I was almost put into a position of responsibility to be like, why am I holding this baby?
What is this?
Like, what? It's like, I'm like, well, not 9, 10, but like, say like, okay, so by the time I was in double digits, I was already around like young children in my family, and it was great, and it was weird, but now I'm an uncle of 6, ranging from 2 to 21, and going back to the village thing, I love it. I really love the fact that they're learning different things. If they've got a problem, they can go to different people based on their relationship, their intention, or based on, okay, Uncle Mari's been in sport before, what should I do towards this? Or mum, like, my sister, she's a teacher, so, and then like, all my mum and dad, it's like, all my auntie, my uncle, my grandma, you get me? So there's different, and it's like, it's such a volume of knowledge in different things, and like, that alongside yourself made me realize, like, yeah, I want a big family, because I want to give them as much as the opportunity as possible, but I also want to experience it that with someone for the very first time together.
Because that's an experience in itself. Growing kids and developing children is a different experience to, well, what I can imagine it to be, to actually having a child, like, from day one.
Yeah. And I guess being uncle is the closest I've been so far, because like when I see, I was around my nephew Christian the most, because like, well, really close to my sister as well, and like I can be that old person like, yo, I remember changing your nappies.
Yeah.
Now you're 14.
Yeah.
I was changing your nappies.
Yeah.
I will not let you forget it. I'm like, what are you telling me that for, man? Like, I've got friends around. Like, yeah, I'll tell you for your friends. You used to do you on my lap. You're nasty. But it's weird, but I love it. But I love being able to say that. And unfortunately, some people don't have that experience. I want to make sure that if it's an option that I can create, I want to make sure I can do that. So no age as well, because again, from day one, preferred. So I'm not gonna say like babies are like shots, but if I can, I want a brand new one. However, I understand the importance of being a mentor, and that I almost melt on a softie when I see those videos of like when adopted children ask for like filling the paperwork for the step parent to be their to be fully adopted or like change their name. That melts me. Like when I see male emotion in general, because obviously guys were not told to emote. We're not told to. One of the first conversations we've ever had, and it's like we're not told to emote. When I see a man breaking down, it gets me. I'm always liking those videos still. You can tell when they're like staged, like I don't care, like, but the actual one's like, yo, it's big.
Because it is generally
because it's a big thing, and I almost feel like it wouldn't be such a big thing if I'm going through that alone. And my other half, or if I have a child with someone and it doesn't work out, that person who hasn't got a child, I want to be with them in that emotional element of learning experience and just being there. I want that new feeling again. So preferably, I'd want a child with someone. It would be our first child, or second or third if we get like twins or triplets or whatever. But I don't know, you know. I feel like I don't know about quadruple. You see me having twins like 100%, like where to go?
Yeah.
I would run that stuff. I would sit.
You get 2 girls.
I'm gonna get girls. My family been saying it too. I'm upset about that too because the world's twisted.
What are you upset for?
Because it just means I have to go into the gym and like learn about 4 different martial arts and become an assassin. Or at least know people. I'll definitely have like a different phone that my family knows not to touch.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is happening. I'll pick up that phone. That person doesn't exist.
Look how many uncles are gonna have.
Doesn't exist.
It's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, but we act with emotion. We'll get caught. It's alright. Arrest me.
I won't get caught.
You'll get caught, bro.
Won't get caught.
You'll get caught.
Alright,
well, this is a different conversation.
Trust me.
I ain't getting caught. I'm letting them know. I'll come to their house, broad daylight.
Nah, I won't.
Right.
I won't even.
It depends on the situation.
I won't even be there.
Yeah, if it's a shot caller thing, it's different. That's why it's like that person doesn't exist. What happened? Puts the phone back down. Don't worry about it. I'm that person. But if it's the heart, like yo, I'll call the prison. Like yeah, get ready. I'll be at this address at this time. So when you hear it on the reports, just call this address. It's me. I did it. I'll do it again. So that's how I feel. Don't mess with family.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll definitely be a shot caller though. Like, I'm definitely I'll do everything I can to make sure I'm still there for the family. I'm there for the family. But
yeah,
if it's time where I see red, I'm seeing red, and I can't guarantee what I'm going to do.
I can see me already. I'll be sitting there with my mac and cheese, my jerk chicken, my curry goat, rice and peas, and my big glass of sorrel and ginger. I'll be sitting there at the dinner table, 3-piece soup, bang. Families are all there. I'll get a text message on my phone like this, and all it will say is done.
And you be like, see, I get back to you. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the phone that shouldn't ring.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, what a title of a film.
That's the phone that shouldn't ring.
Phone that shouldn't ring. Bro, with this form of an assassin film.
Yeah.
That's like a black gangster film.
And you know what? That's the opening right there. That is the opening right there.
Goosebumps, bro. The film that shouldn't ring. Bro, yeah, sponsored by Motorola or something too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but yeah, this is, I should have said this at the beginning, but this is like, I think the second episode of OJ and Friends. The first one still hasn't been aired because we just things that need to be going on.
Yeah.
We're living life at the same time, so anyone that's waiting, no one's actually stressing because we've actually explained it in a few episodes, but anyone that's waiting, just wait longer. And hopefully this won't be the first and only time Josh comes on to the chat, the podcast.
Yeah. You know, it's been a blessing, man. Like, it took me a while to come here and to get here and whatever, but actually sitting down and with you and discussing some reasoning over certain things, man, it's been a blessing. So thank you, brother.
Hey, respect, bro. Because that's what I said it was, man. It's just all just regular chatting. Me and George chat about foolishness. At the same time, we chat about certain things. We have topics, but You chose the topic. You just said, I want to come and want to chat about this, right? Cool, we'll chat about this. So,
and we've digressed and moving, we've
I'll do my best to not say anything too wild because I wanted to go in when we talk about race. We won't.
Just not even a disclaimer. This is the honest truth. As much as we talk about being pro Afro Caribbean, which we are. We are pro Afro Caribbean. We've got love for everybody.
We really do.
We've got love for everybody.
This is why like people don't feel a certain way. Like whenever like I was in a certain way or a certain mood, people would message Jordan like, "Is Mario okay?"
Yeah.
And Jordan like, "Go chat to him. Just approach him." Yeah. Like, nah, we don't feel the same way. We're cool with people.
We are. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Alright, peace.
Out. Like, comment, subscribe. Jordan usually does this how you do it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend. It's a little phrase going. Tell a friend. And share.
Share.
Share. See, there you go.
Share it.
There you go.